What's up, my brothers? So in this video I want to talk to you guys about letting go. I recently just left my lawyer's office. I got to drop off these keys to a condo I just sold with my real estate agent. The way it works here is I put it in a lock, or sorry, they put the keys in the unit and then the agent leaves an extra key in a lockbox and the new owner takes it, because we're still under all these heavy protocols for COVID pandemic stuff. But yeah, it just kind of brought me to the the thought of the moment that you got to be okay with letting go of stuff in life. And I'm going to talk about not just things, but people as well. If you're newer to the channel, you probably don't know this, but I just recently got rid of my R8, which is that white convertible that you see on the cover banner of my channel. I had that car for a few years, and honestly, from the get-go, I said right off the bat, I'm never getting rid of this car. I love it. I'm going to hold on to it forever. I know it's going to go up in value. And, you know, here I am today. I think it's like 4, maybe or 5 years later or so. Made a nice healthy profit on it. For all my haters, like, why you put money in cars? You're never going to make money off it. It's a depreciating asset, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I made a lot of money off it. The used car market was hot. There's not a lot of exotics available, and profit was available, so I took it. I also don't like having a lot of things weighing me down, holding me down. I felt like I had too much in the way of things here right now, which is another reason why I sold the condo, which I'll talk about in a moment. Cars, I love cars. Title of the channel is Entrepreneurs in Cars. I like, you know, that sort of stuff, like fast cars always will. I still have the McLaren, that's not going anywhere, but I don't need 3 cars, right? It's not like you can drive them all at the same time. It's impossible. So I just figured it was a good opportunity to lighten the load a little bit and take some profits, which you should be willing to do in life, guys. It's one of the skills as an unplugged guy that you need to kind of get your head around, that you have to be able to discern when you should let go of things that aren't serving you, or that you can make a profit off, depending on how you want to look at it. Same thing with this condo. You know, bought this thing, I don't know, it was 2013 or 14 or something like that. It was pre-built, sorry, not a pre-built, but it was pre-sale, you know, before they dug a hole in the ground. So I got in early, and again, it wasn't serving me. During the entire length of time that I've had it, I think I've had a new tenant almost every year, because in the Toronto market, people don't generally stay for very long, or they're transient, or there's something going on in their lives. They, you know, they have a kid together and need a bigger house, insert whatever reason, they got to move out and upgrade or something like that. And I just got a little tired of dealing with the nonsense of tenants, you know, the wokeness of dealing with Toronto, the traffic going down there when I had to deal with anything, if I had to deal with anything to sell it, or to, sorry, not to sell it, but to relist it. You know, all that stuff that's tied into rental ownerships comes with some baggage, and it just got to the point where it's like, it doesn't make sense. You know, the market is good to sell, the market is not great to rent. To give you an example, I have friends in the US that are heavy in the real estate market, and I'll use the example of, you know, like this particular unit, which I think was around $850. They'll usually get about 1% of the value of the property down there. So an $850,000 unit would usually rent for $8,000 for them, roughly. In the Toronto market, that particular unit was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, basically a glass box in the sky, nothing, has a high value, but very low rental income relative to the value. And the other thing with this situation, with the environment right now, the rates have been going down steadily. They haven't been going up. You can't increase your rates. Even if somebody moves out of it, you can't get more than what you were getting for it before. So it's just like, okay, this looks like a good opportunity to take some money out of the market, out of the real estate market, and deploy it somewhere else. Lots of other things that you can do with it that would you know, give you some flexibility and freedom and the ability to maneuver. And as an unplugged guy, you got to be able to decipher when and where to cut loose. Some people would say even cut loose with losses, and sometimes you got to do that with people in relationships. But in both cases with these particular assets, that I felt like they were anchors, and I'll talk about anchors and sales in a minute. I felt like they were weighing me down. Like I didn't really need them. The money would be better deployed somewhere else, where it, you know, it could serve me better. It's more transportable. If I were to stake it, I'd make more money on it. There's lots of other different ways to look at it, but it just got to the point where I had a tenant move out. I'm like, you know what? Let's unload it. I'm not dealing with this on a go-forward basis. And my long-term plan anyway is I don't really want to spend the rest of my life in Canada. So, you know, there's an exit strategy later on down the road. I actually posted about it on Instagram, and I put a picture up, and everybody was DMing me or commenting, where are you moving to? You know, you're going to come down to here and there and the other thing, and you know, when are you coming down to States, or what state are you moving to? And I didn't say I was leaving. I just said I was getting rid of an asset that was tying me down to Toronto. I don't like Toronto. It's too woke. It's too PC culture. It's too, you know, woosah inclusivity bullcrap. I'm not having it anymore. I don't need to have it anymore. It's not necessary for me to tolerate any of those things in my life. So why not just unload it, right? I don't know if you can see outside just over my shoulder, but we've got a little bit of a snow day. It's December right about now. And you know, such is winter here anyway. So I'll put a picture up that I posted there. It's kind of funny, you know, you guys can have a laugh at it. Now that you've seen that, anyway, let's talk about anchors and sails in our lives, because if you're not familiar, I've been talking for the last couple of years about my interest in maybe getting on the ocean, a sailboat, maybe a solar-powered yacht. There's any number of options that I'm considering later on down the road, and I'm probably going to start doing some more collabs on some of my podcast channels with people that are into that lifestyle because of my own personal interest in it. I think it's really interesting in something that we should also consider as men, as the unplugged men that we are aiming to be in our lives, you know, the unplugged alphas, that you look at other options that are potentially available to you. So anchors and sails. You should know what the functions are. An anchor is a hook you drop in the water that keeps you securely in place, and a sail is something that you know, pull up the mast and it fills with wind, and it, you know, creates that passage to your next port of call. You have to get familiar with the notion of anchors and sails in your life, and both my R8, as pictured in the cover photograph, which I still need to update, I know, and the condo that I just ditched and got off the books, were anchors for me. They weren't serving me, so you got to be okay with letting them go. Look at sails. You know, what does a sail do? Put it up at the mast, let it fill with air, takes you to your next port of call, and it's free. You know, it makes sense to travel that way, if you know what I'm saying, because you're harnessing the power of what's already around you. Look at life the same way. What's an anchor? What's the sail in my life? What is it that I have lying around that isn't serving me that I could potentially get rid of, that I might be able to redeploy those financial resources somewhere else where they might serve me better? It doesn't even have to be in the same country, you know? You can deploy them elsewhere. You can put them on a blockchain and earn money there, you know, whether it's with a digital asset or by staking it or a combination of both. You've got to consider options beyond what you've been conventionally told works, because for the most part, it doesn't always work. It doesn't always serve you, and it doesn't always get you the results that you want in a life. You know, you got to look at things outside of the box. We're too used to, you know, as guys, and trust me guys, I'm the poster boy for this, okay? This is like part of the reason why I talk so much about this, is we're so used to this as men, to like plug into society's comforting lies, just do this, that, and the other thing, do A, B, C, and D, and then, you know, you'll be happy. And the truth of the matter is, most guys discover this, and leave comments below from your own personal experiences and stories, that the lies that we've been sold our entire life as men aren't completely accurate, nor do they serve us. I'm calling them lies because that's what they are for the most part. Comforting lies sell way better than the uncomfortable truth, right? It always does. People just eat that shit up. You know, let's eat that stuff up. Comforting lies are sweet. Give me some more comforting lies. You get what I'm saying? And the same thing applies to people as well. There's, again, you guys are watching this right now. You might have things in your life that are liabilities. You might have people in your life that are liabilities. You might be in a relationship that's a liability to you, that's an anchor and not a sail. A woman in your life should be a complement, not the focus. She shouldn't hold you back. She should be like that sail and help, you know, shift you over to your next port of call, part of that passaging, right? That's what a good woman will do. There's a lot of guys right now I know watching this that feel like maybe the woman in their life is an anchor instead of a sail. Business transactions, any number of things, any number of ways that you might want to look at it can be anchors or sails in your life, and they're transient. They don't always necessarily have to be an anchor or always necessarily have to be a sail. My R8 was a sail at one point. It helped me build the channel. It introduced me to the supercar clubs in Toronto that I've done some rallies with. I've met some really interesting people. I've done some business with some of those interesting people. I've made some great friends. At that time, it was a sail. After a while, you get the McLaren. You've got too many cars. You've got the liabilities of maintenance, insurance, or sitting on your driveway, getting stale and old. After a while, just like, you know what, I don't need all this. Let's get rid of something and take some profits and do something else with the money. Same thing with the real estate. At one point, cash flow positive, very strongly cash flow positive. cap rate made a little more sense, you know, earlier on back in the day. Now it's like, you know, with the current market conditions, value's still good, the rental income is not high enough, let's ditch it, you know, let's get it off the books. Nothing wrong with that. You got to look at these things in life, guys. This is what the Unplugged Alpha does. Anyway, I think I can wrap it up on that note. I don't need to bang on too much. You guys get the idea. I got to give my agent a call to meet him. He's around the corner. So do yourself a favor. In the pinned top comment, there's a bunch of useful links. There's a link to my book. If you haven't got it, check it out. It's the holidays. Get it for a friend or a family member. Links to my community. You want to book me for one-on-one coaching. All that good stuff is there. Request a video, blah, blah, blah. Check out the top pinned comment. Guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you. Smash the like button. It's totally free. And leave a comment below. Anchors and sales. Talk about it. Discuss. Let me know what you think. See you guys later. Peace out.